Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about Uranus transiting the second house in a natal chart. Now, on average, Uranus will traverse a house for approximately 7 years. However, if your house size is a little bit larger than average, then Uranus will be in there for a little bit of a longer duration. If your house size is a little bit smaller than average, then Uranus will be in there for a little bit of a shorter period. Well, anyway, people, the first thing is when I look at it, this transit, you could experience a lot of fluctuation and vacillation with your income during this period. You might come into an exorbitant amount of money one minute, and then a lot of it just may dissipate the next minute. This is a time where you could have a lot of change, and your financial situation can be very erratic. This could also be a time where you might require a lot more freedom and independence in matters pertaining to your income. When you look at the second house is also about possessions. So during this transit, it's possible, even though marginally the propensity I think might increase a little bit, that you might lose some of your possessions. It could even be through some kind of natural disaster, whether it be a storm in some isolated cases or some flood. So I think it does increase it by a little bit, because Uranus can be associated with things that are unanticipated, things that are unpredictable. And the second house does govern our possessions. Now, your values during this time might go through a little bit of a change. You might put more value in things that are connected with new technology, with innovations, with things connected with science, computers, electronics. This might be a time where if you haven't done so, maybe you're become more progressive in terms of the possessions you have during this time. You might decide to load up on things that are more connected with modern technology. If you have like that old record player, it might be replaced with some kind of CD player or something that might be more advanced during this time. So those are some things to look at as far as this transit goes. And also, given the fact that Uranus is a planet that we look at as associated with things that are unanticipated and unpredictable, and the second house does govern income, you might have some bizarre or unpredictable things happen in matters with your finances. For example, you could get there might be a little greater chance, as an example, to get like a duplicate charge in your account and be double charged. It might be just mishaps that happen more on a financial level during this time than usual. There could be some unanticipated gains as well during this time. Now, the thing too is, when you look at Uranus transiting the second house, this could also be a time where you might generate income, perhaps through some kind of innovation. It could be a project, something new, a new concept you have based on some new idea or product, and you might start near the beginning of the transit, and it might be a very long and protracted thing that carries out toward the end of the transit. So those are some things as far as this transit goes. Now, also, your current value system may be eradicated during this time, and it might become obsolete. And what might happen is it might be supplanted by your new value system. This could be a time too where you might as far as generating income goes, you might make money in connection with something Uranus. Like, it could be a time maybe you make money connected with something connected with an esoteric subject such as astrology. If perhaps something with computers, it could be computer sales, computer repair. It could be some kind of like DVD technician. Could be anything computer, I should say, not, well, DVD technician, for example, is more electronics, but it could be something with computers or electronics as far as you generating income during this time, but it could something associated with computers, electronics, innovation, and it could be something connected also with an esoteric subjects. It could also be an auspicious time, perhaps for putting perhaps investments in maybe in things that in stocks associated with computers, electronics, maybe companies that are continually improving technology, and maybe companies connected with ingenuity, with innovation, with new ideas, new concepts. And really, this is also really a time where you might feel like you might want to, as far as making money, it might be something where you might want a little bit more freedom as well, and independence. And this could be something where you might prefer something where you can maybe dictate your own hours, your own schedule, perhaps starting some kind of business or something. So those are some things to look at as far as this transit goes. Well, anyway, people, it's also important to look at the aspects, if any, that are made from this transit to your natal planets in points during this period, as this could impact the transit. Let's say, for example, that transiting Uranus in your natal second house is making a conjunction to your natal Mercury. Well, this could be a period perhaps of innovative thinking during this time, and ingenious and original thinking. Now, being in the second, this might be applied toward making money and generating income. Now let's take another example. Let's say that transiting Uranus in your natal second house is making a sextile or trine to your natal Venus. Well, this may be a time where you might strike up a new love interest, and this could be perhaps with somebody that might be somewhat eclectic, unorthodox, or unconventional. Being in the second house, it might be tied into a positive change in your self-esteem, and perhaps even something it might be changes your values perhaps as well, or what you value in a relationship. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for Uranus transiting the second house in a natal chart. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about Uranus transiting the third house in a natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.